Well, hello everyone. The OntarioGardener here, back with a brand new series of Urbek City Builder. We're going to go right back into a new game, Ontario Ontario-ville. That's where we're at. You have to start in the temperate biome because none of these other ones are unlocked. You have to unlock them as you go, which basically means you have to get to the achievement goal that each level requires. This is difficulty is 100%. Some of these are 250%. This is 290%. This is going into the DLC package, which is the war one. I guess you want to call it that. The defense. But we're going to start with the temperate one, 100% difficulty, learn how to play. I know how to play for the most part. We're going to uncheck mods because you don't have any installable. I just want to uncheck it just so it doesn't mess up. Rivers, you can have a mighty river, regular river, small stream, no rivers, lagoon. And you can set this how you want. We're just going to go with the default stuff right now. We're going to jump right into the game. Now, there is a bit of a, let's just zoom out, see we have nice patch of trees down here. Nice little river over here. Do we have any iron? Iron right there is a good place for iron. We should have more iron over here. Do we have any over on this side? 2 iron patches, it looks like. Let's just pause the game for a second. So, the objective of the game is to, well, basically, follow the objectives. Excuse me, follow the objectives is what we need to do right now. We have policies, mini-maps. On the top left here is all kinds of different things that you can use as you continue on the game. Bottom left down here is where like your speed control is, whatnot. You can hide this as well if you really want to. And then down here is going to be your kind of your little tutorial type thing. We'll just leave it here for now. We're not going to follow it. Top right, you have population, you have happiness, you have food, production, consumption. Right now we just have a storage of 300, 0 production. Labor is what you'd use to, well, labor. Houses produce labor and buildings use labor. +5 is the minimum production. Right now we're producing 0 because we have nothing at all being produced. And then this will be in the red if we're losing. This will be in the green if we're at neutral. If we're increasing, I think it's yellow if it's neutral. Then this is the wood we have. Once we start unlocking and using other resources, this will obviously fill in as well down here. So what we're going to do in the beginning is we eventually have to get over to the wood here. So I think what we'll do is we'll start off with the road. And we're just going to build a road just like this. I think it's a good place to start. We have to put some housing in. And housing, if you look, it can, if you click on the housing icon here, it tells you what it needs. It costs 50 labor and 10 wood per house. Here it costs production is 10 labor per house. Consumption is 10 food per house. Things that are consuming are going to be in the red because that's considered a deficit. Distance to roads, it has to be within 3 squares, which, oh, we have a tree right there. Let's just delete that tree. It doesn't need to be there. You can delete virtually anything in the game, really. Oh, let's click back on here, what it needs. Distance rate, and then it tells you what it upgrades to when you reach a certain milestone. So once we hit 300 population, this will unlock, and you also have to have 3 farmhouses, and then we turn it into a village house. And you click onto a village house, and here it basically tells you what you have to get for it. And then this is using power, blah, 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 all this other things here. Now here there's needs 15 or more squares with at least 6 residents in 3 radius. So these are things that it will automatically passively upgrade. This upgrades from a hut or a shanty town. It doesn't upgrade to anything else. This is based on if you satisfy these requirements, it will upgrade to a village house. Or it will downgrade to back to well, housing is just your basic house, I guess you would say. But in order for this to work, we can actually start it. In order for it to work, you have to provide wood, which we can't because we're not having any labor, but we also have to provide some food. And food is very simple. It's basically you take a field and it costs 30 labor, production 14 food. Remember, each house needs 10. So if we have 150, which means we should need about 10, they have to be within 5 squares to a road. Let's just do a whole bunch right now. That's 20. As soon as we place that down, let's speed it up. When the fields start being planted, and they'll just be planted in various things. It just says farm. What it is just a visual. It's irrelevant what any of this actually is. This, I guess, would be wheat. This is more like what? Grapes, maybe, or cotton or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't matter. And then, obviously, here we have housing. If you look on the top right, we're now plus 130 to food because we're producing 280 and we're using 150. These are considered wooden huts, I guess. It doesn't... Oh, here it tells you because it actually is something now. And then over here, we're producing 50 labor because of the houses that we have, minus the labor that is costing us for the farms, of course. And wood, we're not generating any wood, but we have to generate wood. So generate wood with lumber camps, and you have to place them kind of within 3 squares to a road. But what we'll do is we'll connect this road up. There we go. And then the lumber camp will basically harvest lumber in this radius. Produces 15 per, I guess it's per cycle. I'm not sure what the time frame is here. Extracts 10 wood up to 5 tiles away in any direction. So it's basically a 10 by 10, so 100 square, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's actually, it's more so 6 because it's 5. This is actually going to be 11, so it'd be 100 and whatever square blocks. So it'd be good to put these in the middle of the forest, but you don't really want to damage too many trees as well. Extracts wood, and then the wood is used, obviously it's just mainly for production. The lumber camp is producing 15 wood. It tells you right here it produces 15 wood, and that's basically, that's it. So what we have to continue to do is we have to continue to grow and to grow and to grow. Right now we're at 90 population, and we need to get up obviously a lot higher than that. You can click on the main menu here if you need to. I wish there'd be a thing somewhere. It doesn't show it as of yet where our achievements. These are just achievements. These aren't the goals that you want to get to. Where are the goals at here? They should be in here somewhere. No, maybe they're not. Okay, that's fine. We can change the name up that way. So yeah, basically we're as fast as we can go. We have to continue to build houses, and we have to continue to build. That's basically all we're doing. For the first little bit is you have to build. Keep your things here in lined up. And like I said, there are achievements in here, and this is just your path. You have to, this is what you're basically looking to choose to go off of. You have a whole list of things as of right now. Once you hit this is your unlocking, like you complete this map, I guess you would say. Path to wealth, we have to get a new car. We don't have any cars, obviously. You have to get 4 villas, work production, wood production, energy production. This is what you have to achieve to get to the mini truck. This is later on in the game, of course. And Plash of Leisure is what we claimed. We need to have 20 green areas here. So we're going to continue to go, and these houses are going to upgrade, well, as soon as they get built. They are wooden huts, and that's that. So we can't upgrade anything unless we have 3 farmhouses, and we can't get farmhouses until we have 200 population. So what we need to do, and you can see the roads, actually let's just make it out here. The roads, once they reach a certain status, your roads upgrade. This is a rural road. This is just considered road. It'll upgrade to a nice road, industrial rural road. And it upgrades to a rural road based on what it is. So like it's very, very like, it goes from this to an industrial road if this is met. It goes from this to a nice road if this is met. But right now we're upgrading to rural roads, and this is considered a paved road because why? We have 100 more residents in a 3 radius. We have 144. So that, you know, like things organically upgrade based on what it is. These the problem right now is we have no food. We're actually consuming 300 and we're producing 280, which is why this exclamation point is here. So what we got to do is we got to bump up our food production hardcore. And as soon as this gets built, this will obviously go back to the way it was. This is some kind of different field here. It could be apples or something. You have to always keep an eye on your things up here. You want to stay in the green. You don't want to go lower than in the green because that is a problem. Let's just close this off down here. So again, we want to upgrade to a farmhouse. We need 200 population. So all we got to do is we slap a couple more houses down. That might be too many. Fields have to be within 5 squares of the road. We can literally just go like this, which is perfectly fine as well. And you get different ones. Like I said, none of them... Oh, our farmhouse is unlocked. And that's because, why? Well, we hit our population. A farmhouse costs 300 labor. Let's just slow this down a little bit. Costs 300 labor, produces 100 food, stores 200 food. Or grain, or whatever you want to call it. I guess it'd just be food. But it needs no farmhouse in a 5 radius, currently 0, 12 or more farms in a tile of 3 radius. So basically what you're doing with this is, if it's grayed out, you can't place it. Because if you look on the top left there, 12 or more farms in the radius. As soon as you start going within this radius here, so the yellow radius is the farmhouse radius. It can't be within 5 of another one, but it has to be within 12 farm tiles. So what we're going to do, basically, we're just going to slap this thing right here. This is 40, 30. We're going to put it right there, but we can't build it there. Why? Because we have something there. Basically, delete it. Then you come back here and you place the farmhouse. And a farmhouse, what it does is it boosts. Like this is producing 14 food per cycle. This is producing 100, but it can also store 200. So now our global storage is what? Is up to 500 in total. It's 300 plus 200, which is great. So right now we're consuming 470. We're producing 800. So we're producing... We got cars already. Look at that. Got cars already. And as we continue to upgrade, We still need population of 300. We have 1 to 3 farmhouses, so we need to build a bunch more farmhouses. So I think what we're going to do is we'll take a road out this way, and let's put a farmhouse in first, but you can't do that. It won't let you do that because you have to place. It's a bit of a weird thing. You can't put the farms in right away, but the way you can do this, if you do a 5 by 5 like this, and you come in here and you delete the center square, and you come in here and you put down a farmhouse, and that will work, of course. There you go. But what I would do, I do want to fill this, the rest of this in. You can click and drag over things, and it will work like that. I just can't drag over top of something that can't be changed, or whatever you want to call it. Oh, I don't want that to be a demolishes B. Why is B? I don't know. It should be D or anything. All right, we have 2 farmhouses. Now, if these upgraded, we don't. We need 1 more farmhouse. Our population still isn't what it needs to be. Oh, if you have something in your hand, you're going to click on it. Our population is 282, so we're getting there. We're getting there. But what we need to do is we got to get some more farms going over here. I think we're just going to do. That's a 5 by. I just want to do a 5 by 5, but we can't do 5 by 5. We can do 5 by 4. Come in here, delete this. Come back in here, put a field here, and do this field like this. Come back in, demolish this, and then see. Are we going to be able to put it here? The answer is no. You know why? Because we're too close to this one. So we got to bump it all the way down here, which we can't do that either. We can put it up here, though. Actually, we can put it right. I think we're going to have to delete these. I think it's going to be too close. Actually, you know what? We can sprawl out over this way. Why not? We'll have a big intersection there. Roads will go through trees, but fields won't. And the reason why we can't do this is why? We don't have enough. It costs 30, and we have 200, so, or 2,000. Because you can't go through. What am I missing here? What? 30. And we only have 30. Wow, we need to build a lot more housing. Because we have no labor. There's your problem. See, again, you can kind of see how the progression of this works. We have no. Why can't we build a house? Oh, we don't have enough. Oh, wow. Okay, so we're really went thin here. We don't have. We gotta speed this up because we need to get the labor in. Because right now we're only producing 10 labor because we're using so many, consuming it with the farm. So then what we'll do with the farm is we'll cut the farm back a bit. This will still function because it's what we need. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut this one back because, again, everything uses labor. Labor is like the gold standard in the game of what you need to basically do anything, basically. So we have 300 population. Are we going to upgrade? No, because we only have 2 of 3 farmhouses. Let's just come in here and delete some of this stuff. Deleting doesn't cost anything. It just deletes, basically. Oh, we're coming along. Look at this, guys. We're doing really well. We got our farmhouse here. We got this going. Now we're producing 130. So this is a very fine balance. Excuse me, where you can't just like jump and just slam everything in at one time. Let's slow it down. If you see, we unlocked a couple new things. What did we unlock? All this stuff. So basically, a tenant farmer. We have landlord house, grains. This all has to do with farming. We're going to get into this when we unlock it. You now have landmarks, which is a neighborhood council, which we can't build, obviously, because we don't have the population or the silo. You have industry. Industry is going to be a lumber camp, which turns your wood into, well, sorry, it doesn't turn your wood. It stores. Excuse me. It stores wood. Basically, is what it does. But it takes No, sorry, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Lumberjack cabin. Excuse me. So what you need for this is firewood is the first source of energy. This is a lumberjack cabin is what you use to produce power. We don't need power yet. We're not quite at that stage, but that'll be the next upgrade for the housing. Over here we have parks, and basically we can't do it. It just gives you a leisure in a green area. The radius, it doesn't have a radius really. You just need to unlock it. So it's something where people can go for leisure. Because right now our happiness is just providing 6 from the wooden hut, so it's not very much. And then these things will unlock more as we go along. We're not going to get into talking about this stuff as of yet because we don't have the we need at least 400 population before we get any of this stuff. Whoops. Didn't want to do that anyway. Okay, so we're producing a bit more. And the thing is, though, one thing I also want to mention is when you max out your storage, you cannot gain anything else. So it's good to keep an eye on this type of stuff because you want to be using it as you're making it. Because right now we're storing it nowhere because we can't store it anywhere. Everything is full. It can't do anything. Everything is full. So that's the problem. So what we need to do is we need to get some more farms up and running. We're producing so much food, though. Jeez Louise, we don't need to do any more. We don't really need to do any more farms, so I'm actually going to delete these farms here. We don't need these farms. This should still be fine. It is. Okay, we don't need that many farms. But what we do need is we need more housing. So I'm going to do another batch of houses right about here. I'm going to come in and delete these trees. The trees don't really do anything. So we have the housing for these to upgrade, but the problem is we need more farmhouses. So if you remember, farmhouse, you need to have a 5x5 area somewhere where you can, well, it says 12 or more farm in a radius. So if we do, excuse me, if we do something like, that's 12 right there, and we can put a farmhouse right here, and it'll work. Because, excuse me, they only have to be a certain amount of tiles. Like I said, this one only needs to be 3 squares. Oh, village house unlocked. So what's going to happen is some of these houses, let's just pause it, read this for a second. Upgrade to village house. Ready to upgrade, but you do not produce enough energy. Ah, see? This is exactly what I said, right? So a village house needs energy, or electricity, energy. Every different type of housing produces more labor, but also consumes more items, which, I mean, this is a plus, this is a minus, which means it's producing consumption. This is a cost, which is just the circle here. But this is 8 residents, right? Going up from 6 residents, 6 happiness, 10, 10, right? This is going to upgrade to this one. So it's going to be 14, so 40% more, using a bit more with power. And then here it tells you is 8 residents and 8 happiness. So that's another 33% if it upgrades, but we need power. We need power, and we don't have power. So what we got to do, excuse me, is we got to make power, which we're going to do that where? We're going to do that, where's our wood at? Where's our lumberjack stuff at? Here it is. Lumberjack cabin basically takes wood. Takes wood and produces power. That's all it does. But it says you need to have 1 or more lumber camp in a 3 radius, no lumberjack cabin in a 3 radius, no lumberjack house in 3 radius. So it's basically the same thing as kind of how the farmhouses work. You can't just cram them all in one area, because in reality, real life, you're not going to have 20 farmhouses, 20 different farmers farming the same plot. You won't do that. It'll be spread out all over the place. And these don't combine with each other. Like you could do it over here. It's still like it's citywide, I guess you would say. So what we can do is, as soon as this gets down a bit lower into, where can we do? Lumberjack, no lumber camp in a 5 radius. We don't want to do a lumber camp. We want to do a lumberjack cabin. Lumberjack cabin, you see, currently has 1 of 1, no lumberjack camp, which is 0, and then 0. So this is exactly what we need. It won't work here. We can put it right about, let's just put it right here. And let's just put a little road to it. There you go. So what this is going to do is, now you see on the top right, we're now producing electricity. And look what's happening. Look at this. Look. It goes very, very quickly. These upgraded now from upgraded to a village house, sorry. If you have any other cabin. So the huts will upgrade to a village house or a villa. Look, they're all upgrading. This is now considered a village house. And the village house, if it's kind of weird how it works. Like this counts as one kind of house. This counts as one because of the way they're connected. This counts as one. This counts as this block. It goes with this block because they're called village house. So it's like a village. They're all connected. They're all the same kind of quote village. It's just how it works. And you need to have 15 or more squares with at least 6 residents. So when you click on this, it basically says within this radius, you have to satisfy 15 squares. Over here, you're not satisfying it because you don't have enough. Because within the radius, which is 15 squares in the radius, here you're only going to have like 9, so you're not going to have enough. So like you can never max this out completely because it goes in a square block radius, not just in a certain amount. It has to go in the radius of this, and these ones over here don't meet it. This one does because it goes up this way and then all the way down to here. And our roads are back up to paved roads again. You have a nice intersection, and then it goes from a paved road to a rural road, which means it has a sidewalk, and then it goes to a farm or like a basic country road, I guess. So we're up to 540 population. Our happiness, this is a general happiness, averaging is going to be, it's 7.7. It's an average. All right, so we're producing along. Can we upgrade this? No. Can we upgrade these? Well, upgrades from a field, which is what you place. This won't upgrade. Nothing else here will upgrade. So what we got to do is we're producing power. We're producing tons of power. I mean, we're only really producing, not really producing that much, to be honest with you. We can't really build any more houses. This upgrades to a lumberjack house, which produces more, but we're not anywhere near that. We need 600 population for that, of course. Our lumberjack camp doesn't do anything. So did we unlock anything down here? Roads, we still have bridges, of course. Oh, we now have a tenant farm, which we'll touch on that next. Can we do any parks that we can't because we need to have 700 population? I think that's the next goal is 700 pop. These are 900 population. This is we need tenants. So here we go. So here we're back to having tenant farmers. We also need to have another farmhouse somewhere as well. So oops. So what we could do is we need some more farmhouses here. I think what I want to do is put them out this way. I don't want to have things too close together anymore. We can run that to the edge. Oops. Doesn't really matter how you do it. It can run to the edge. Cars just spawn. So what I want to do is I want to get a couple more farms going. Just basic stuff like that. Just that's all it needs. A farmhouse can go, well, it's going to go right in the middle there. This is going to go right here, and we're going to go boom. There we go. So now we can unlock. We have unlocked the grains when this gets built, but we need population. That we 700 population. So what does a tenant farmer do? These are all upgrades, by the way. Farmhouse 300, 100, 200. A tenant farmer are peasants who rent the land. Their living conditions are very low. They don't need anything. Basically, they cost 50 labor, but they produce 50 food. A farm produces 14 food. A farmhouse produces 100, but you can only have one of these within a certain amount of range. This is called a tenant farmer. It needs, 5 or less tenant farmers in a 1 radius, which means you can't just group 5 of them or 6 of them together. It wouldn't work that way. 3 or more farm in a 1 radius. So this basically raises your residency, but it doesn't cost hardly anything. Because it doesn't cost any, what do you want to call it? Whoops. Looking for the word. It doesn't have any consumption, right? It's no consumption. There you go, because it produces, all it does is produce. So these are good, but you have to be careful where you put them. So we're going to put one, actually I have to delete some of these tiles, I think. Is there a hotkey for this? Should we put one here? Put one here. And I go in and I put one here. These are all work. Now, is this going to upgrade? No, it won't upgrade. So basically, these are they require very little and they produce a lot, which is great. You can put these literally anywhere. We're going to do one here. We'll do one here. And we'll do one here. Come back in here. We do 1, 2. As long as the conditions are met, it will work. And again, we can do one over here. I guess we'll do one here and we'll do one here. And this will go abandoned if it doesn't. If the requirements aren't met, it won't work, basically. Requirements are met, so we're still good to go. The tenant farmer, again, they're producing a lot of money, but eventually we're going to get into things. Oh, we can do a landlord house now. Now we're talking, guys. A landlord house basically produces more food, but it consumes a lot of labor. That's the problem. It consumes a lot of labor. Landowners need a land of labor to produce food. So basically, this is a landlord's house. So you're basically... They oversee the tenants, which I guess would be slaves in a sense, back in the day. But here, the way it needs, no landlord houses in an 8 radius, 4 or more tenant farmers in a 5 radius. All right. So this right here is a what? This is a farmhouse. This doesn't do anything. Okay. All it does is it helps store food, which is a good thing. But we want to start getting into landlord houses. We need to have, 4 or more tenant farmers? We only have 3 here, so let's just delete this one. Let's put in a tenant farmer right here. And what I want to do is I'm actually going to delete this, and we're going to swap it out for landlord house. But it won't fit because it's massive. So we have to delete a few more things here. Landlord house will go right here, and guess what? Boom. Because this is storing 200 food, right? So you have to kind of figure out what works. This is producing 200 and stores 200. This is producing 100 and stores 200. Costs 300. This costs 200 plus 200. This consumes nothing. This consumes food. So you have to, or it consumes labor. So you got to figure out what you're doing. But again, this is 10 residents, 11 happiness. This doesn't give you anything. So this gives you population plus happiness. This gives you nothing, basically. Basically how it works. All right, and these houses, they're not going to upgrade to anything. This one can't. This one can now because it met some of the other upgrades here. But as you can see right now, we're at a village house. This can now upgrade to a villa when we hit 800 population. Or it also unlocks a fisherman house. Fisherman's house has to be built where? Guess where? On the water, right? Of course. So these are good things here because they are producing more, but they are also using labor. These are not using labor. So you got to figure out I mean, to me, a landlord house is better. It's producing 200 food. This is producing 100 food. The storage is irrelevant. Costs 300 to build. This is 210 wood, which 10 wood isn't hardly anything. We're maxed out on wood right now. This gives you 0 happiness. This gives you, what? 10 happiness and 10 residents. So this is better because it's producing, well, it's just better. Well, better for certain situations, I should say. I'm going to leave some of the other ones alone. I'm not going to mess with them at the moment. We don't need to. Right now, we're producing enough things, except we could use some more wood. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here. I'm going to put a lumberjack camp. Lumberjack camps will function if what? No lumberjack camps in a 5 race. So I got to put it out here, which is perfectly fine. Really, we're going to go over here. We're going to put a road in right about here, I think. Connect it up. We got to get some more wood going. I mean, I can't put it here, but I can put it here. And I also want to put, how are we doing here? This is producing, how are we doing with power? Power, we're only at +2. So to me, we should slap another one of these down, and there you go. And it will work. It won't let you place it if it won't, like, function where you're putting it. Now we unlocked a lumberjack house, which does this upgrade to that? This upgrades to, this is the lumberjack cabin, upgrades to a lumberjack house. How? Lumberjacks, when you have 4 more squares with at least 6 residents. We don't have that at all. So you almost have to build this around where people live, which is a bit tricky, kind of, but not really. We basically just got to go like this, and we put a couple houses there, and watch what this is going to upgrade to. Right, upgrade. It'll upgrade when it wants to, and now it upgraded to a lumberjack house, which is producing 120 compared to this one, which is producing 60 and 250. This is 120 and 3. It's consuming 80 and 10. This is consuming 50 and 7. So it's not that much more, but you're producing twice the power. Right now, we need what? How many? We need 2 right now. So we got to build a couple more houses here. You want to upgrade them because they will bring in more money, basically, is what it's doing. Is this going to upgrade yet? We need what? 6 residents and a 2 radius. We need a couple more houses, I guess. And this is where you have to kind of figure out what's going to work for you. We can leave the tree there. This is going to upgrade very soon. Where is it here? Ready to upgrade. And it'll upgrade it when it wants to. And boom, there you go. Lumberjack house upgraded. So that each thing has different requirements. But the thing is that these houses aren't going to do anything. They'll just sit here. But that's also fine, right? It doesn't really matter. These new basic houses, these are going to start to upgrade because of certain ones will have the radius that it needs. Other ones, the village house, this one needs to have 15 or more. This one will upgrade. Will this one upgrade? I don't think this one will upgrade. Will it? No, this only has 3. The radius, because it only is encompassing these ones here. This one here does have it because it has 15 squares with at least 6 residents. This here houses how many residents? This has 6 residents. This has 0 residents. Oh, this has 6, sorry. This won't upgrade because it has 15 or more squares with at least 6. This has it. These ones have it because it encompasses all of this. These don't, which again, it doesn't really matter. It's not a huge problem. Right now we're producing a little bit of wood, tons of power, producing tons of power, which is really, really good right now. But look else, we unlocked some more things. What else did we unlock? We unlocked this stuff, which we're not quite there yet. These we unlocked as well. We're not quite there yet either. We have a park. We can build a park. Parks will help with leisure. And what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to come in here. I know this is going to be not the best thing to do, but I'm going to do it anyway because I want to put some parks. A park on each corner because that will also help. These will still go back up to a village house. This is not a problem. I'm not worried about that. But what it does is it gives the house a bit of leisure. 1 leisure, 1 green area. Basically, that's it. But leisure, as you see here, is what we want. Green area. Green areas are good because some things need leisure to unlock to something else. Where are we at here? And these are not upgrading yet. These are all still good. A wealthy village house, well, actually a villa, will unlock if what? You need to have 25 or... See, here we go. Here it upgrades to a villa if you have 25 or less residents in a 4 radius. So, like, here's like, okay, well, how do you get this and how do you get this? Like, it takes... To unlock these better housing, it really needs a lot of care. To go to a wealthy village house, 1 or more food services, 1 or more leisure, 0... Right now we have 0 pollution. 15 squares, at least 6 residents. So right now we have to do the food service, and then this will upgrade to a wealthy village house. Well, population, of course. So like everything organically upgrades, which is like a really cool feature, I think. We have a nice park now. Nice park is basically, so it's 130. So this is 3 times as much. It only gives you double, but it gives you double. But this is actually not a bad thing. You can't overlay them, of course. It doesn't work that way. But what we can do is you can come in, we can just delete the ones we put down, because why not? And we're gonna go back in here, and yeah, put one here, 2. It costs a lot of money, or a lot of labor. But the problem is, again, you have a 2,000 cap. When you hit that cap, which is very quick, it doesn't do anything. It just sits there. You can't use it. Red bridge unlocked. We unlocked a different type of bridge. This is a wooden bridge. This is a beautiful bridge. Doesn't really tell you how you unlock that. Again, you could probably click on the Urbekpedia. Basically, here it tells you everything that you need. So we unlocked a red bridge. Oh, here, you can hover over red bridge. It just says, okay, it doesn't actually tell you what you need. So I'm assuming it has to do with population. Production settings, this, variabilities, residents maybe, leisure. So here, these are leisure things. There you go. See, some of these things need a lot of items. We're not there yet, so we're gonna ignore that for now. So we're moving quite along. Our parks are nice. Our housing is doing well. I mean, it's basically just it's kind of like SimCity in a sense. You build things to unlock things, and you continue on, and you have to just keep an eye on what you are making and what you're spending. Basically, it's what it is. We're producing too much food right now, which is fine. We need to produce some more housing, which we're gonna come in here. We're gonna delete this. We're going to come in here. We're going to slap down some more housing because we need the housing. Like, we just need it. And these will upgrade very, very quickly. It'll upgrade to a village house. As soon as the other ones get built up, this will upgrade. See, they almost upgrade instantly into what you want it to upgrade to. Now we can unlock a villa. Now, a villa is not going to be a selectable thing. That's an upgrade. A villa, oh, I want to click on this. A villa will upgrade to what? 25 or less residents in a 4 radius. Well, how is that going to be possible? Well, that could be possible out here in some of these other areas. If we put down a couple little housing, say put down a housing like that. All right, let's just see what this does. Will this upgrade to a village house? I don't think it will it? So basically what you got to do, yeah, we have to get rid of, we need to go up a couple more. We go like this, and we do like that. That's not, I don't think that's going to be quite, this should work. This one should be 15. Because it's actually, it might not quite be 15. I think we might be 1 short. Yeah, we're at 11. So because we have 1, 2, no, it's 6. It's 6 by 3. That's 18. So in these upgrade, this should upgrade itself to a village house. We're at 12. There we go. Upgraded to, oh, this one's the one that upgraded. Village house, right? So this is fine. Let's say this one's fine. Now, will this upgrade to a villa? 25 or less residents. We have 116 residents. That's the problem. It's like, well, how do you do that then? Well, you got to come in here, and you have to come in, and you got to delete some of these things now. The problem is like, well, won't that decrease this? Yeah, it will. So it's a very, very, you know, it's like, well, how do you, if we do that, right? And this one, what is it going to do now? Is it going to upgrade to a villa? We have 32 people. We can't upgrade to a villa. And then when you reduce that, what is it going to do? It's not going to do anything. There you go, villa. You need 25 or 4 less resident, 1 or more green areas. So if we put, theoretically, we should be able to slap down a park right here. And watch what happens. Will this upgrade to a villa? There you go, villa. So villas just give you better. So again, everything, it depends on what you want. Let's just pause, slow this down. It depends on what you want to upgrade to. Right now, village house is 14, 12, 1. This is 10 and 10. Oh, sorry. What? What happened? Why did it go back down? Oh, right. Okay. Because right now it is a villa. Hold on a second. This is not a villa. It's a wooden hut. See, the problem is here, we need a 2x2 model. So now guess what? Now we got to build 2 more housing. Well, how is that going to work then? Well, you just got to place it and see what happens. Auto save, thank you. So what's going to happen is now it wants to upgrade to a villa, but it needs to have a bigger model. But guess what? Now we have our villa. So it's a bit of a weird. You got to really kind of figure out what you want to place where. in this basically, these here are giving you 14, 12, and 1, right? This is giving you 10, consuming a lot more, but it has 6 residents and 13 happiness. This is 8 and 8, right? These are 8 and 8. This is equal. These are more because it's giving you 13 happiness for half as many residents. You want to keep the residents not high or low, but residents consume food or consume power. This consumes 12 and 1 power. This consumes 22 and 2. So it's double this, but the happiness is almost, well, this is for 1 tile. The happiness is, this is for 4 different tiles, right? So it just, you have to kind of weigh out to see what you want to do. Right now, we're at an average of 7.5 because we have, the problem right now is the tenant farmers. The tenant farmer happiness is pretty lousy. The landlord house is producing 11 happiness. It tells you here what's producing what happiness. Right now, the tenant farmers are what are dragging us down. But you can't have a landlord house if you don't have tenant farmers. So it's a bit of a, you got to figure out what's best. I don't know why we have just 1 farm there, by the way. And you have to kind of figure it out on how you want to increase. We also now have a village bar, and we also have a football pitch, which we just need more happiness. These are happiness requirements. But what we can do is we start putting in village. We can't go to a village. It can't go to any of these. This won't upgrade at all. Will this upgrade to something? This can upgrade to a mansion if what? 10 or more green areas in a 1 radius. Wow, that's a lot. We don't have any of these requirements yet. You need 6,500. So once you hit these milestones, you can kind of come back through this town and start deleting a whole bunch of things, putting in different this, putting in different that. Because once you have something unlocked, it's unlocked. It's not going to go away. Wow, a lot of stuff. Grain silo would be, we need 1 more farmhouse. We can unlock that. And this, all this does is, where is it at here? This allows you, oops, sorry. This allows you to store another 200. But then you can have, the game is done very, very well. It's very, very interesting on what requires what. But look at all the stuff we have. A water mill produces tons of power, built by the river. We have a dock to build for fishing. Actually, you know what? So the yellow areas are where we can build them. So let's just build a dock here, and we need road squares first. All right, let's get a road. Let's actually bring a road here, and let's bring it this way. And we can just kind of connect. The road will go through the trees, so I can just do it like that. Let's just connect this up real quick, and then we can call it a day. But you can't have one within 6 radius. So there's the dock. Now you're like, okay, well, what does that do? Well, that basically has 8 residents, 8 happiness. Should be built by the sea. So watch what happens when you start building housing near this, right? Just watch. It should work like this. This wants to upgrade. Oh, we don't have the population yet. That's why it's not going to work. It won't upgrade until we have the population, which we need another. Actually, we should be able to get it quite quickly. This should take us over. What do we need? Within how many squares? 1 or more dock and 6 radius. Oh yeah, we could do it. Watch this. We put a couple more housing here. Watch. I'll delete this one. These are gonna. Oh, look what's happening. What are they doing? They're upgrading to these really cute. Look at this. These are cute fisherman houses. And like, okay, well, what's the difference between that? Well, this is 6 and 6, and a fisherman house basically produces food and labor. The regular one just produces labor. There you go. This consumes now. Look how cute that is. Isn't that awesome? You can't tilt the camera, but that is a pretty cool look in my opinion. I think that's really neat. And you can, again, this is just, they produce different things. You have to kind of weigh out what you want your town or whatever to be. You can have it being a bunch of fishing. This won't upgrade to anything because you're at what you're at, but you need fishermen. Fishermen bring in food, or a dock. A dock doesn't bring in anything. It just gives you the ability to build fisherman houses. These aren't going to build into anything because we're going to be, where are we at here? Because it's not near the water. It has to be within, by the sea or river. It doesn't tell you how close. So I have a feeling this has a radius on it. Interesting. Why won't that upgrade? That's interesting why that one doesn't want to upgrade. 1 or more and 6 we have 1. 0 is 0. Should be built by the sea. Interesting. Maybe it just takes time to upgrade, but it doesn't matter. Regardless, we can go back in here. We can build another dock right about here. Let's just build a road here. Oh, I want B. Nope. Nope. B. Here, let's get rid of this. What I want to do is I'm going to put a road in right about here. Let's just build one more. Excuse me, because they're super cool. And there you go. Put a couple more housing in here. And there you go. And these are like, I mean, it's just to have a different type of building is basically what it's doing. Each one does different things. And again, you have to get a certain amount of something else to unlock it. Right now, we have to get close to 8. Landlord houses, docks give you 8. Fisherman houses give you 8. Tenant farmers give you 5. There's different things. Oh, let's go back here. Because right now, we're at, real quick before we end it, a village house gives you what? 8 happiness. A fisherman's house gives you 8 happiness, right? So these are on even par. But here, a wooden hut gives you nothing. 6 happiness. Like we want to get rid of the wooden hut. Oh, we want to get rid of. It's this. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. This is the village house. Wooden hut. But the problem is, if we delete these, is it going to knock the other ones back down? It could. Will it? I don't think it will. Right? It will. See. It won't do it now. So again, there is a balance of what you got to do here, guys, and you have to figure out your balance and figure out what your goals are. But we're unlocking things as you go along. We are doing very well. Right now, we're not producing any wood, so that is a problem. We have to address the wood when we come back next episode. But what we're going to do, guys, we're going to pause it here. I want to thank you guys for joining me. This has been fun. I love this game. And again, it's very, very in-depth of how you do want to have just villas. Do you want to have farmhouses? Each one has different requirements. Each one has different perks. And like right now, our happiness is sitting at... is an average of what? 7.6. You know why? Because the tenant farmers are reducing that. The wooden huts are reducing that. So how do we get rid of the wooden huts? Well, I don't know. We have to build things to make the wooden huts not become wooden huts anymore. Population, we're doing good. This is kind of relevant in a sense. Parks, and we're good here. Nice park and parks. So you can obviously tell nice parks are better. We're producing good here, except our wood, which we need to produce more of that, obviously, because we don't have any at the moment. These houses are producing or consuming what they consume. I thought I just clicked on one that had me upgrade to something else. Oh, here, the wealthy village. We're not anywhere near. We don't have any sort of food store yet, which well, we just don't. That would actually be in local market and mini mart. 1,300 population. Do we need a grain silo, which we can't get a grain silo until we have more farmhouses. So everything, it's a trickle-down effect, right? You need to have more of this to get this, but then once you get it, you almost want to then delete things. But if you delete things, then you can't use certain things, right? If that makes sense. Like over here, if I get rid of these, this isn't gonna work anymore because it needs to have the green areas. If I get rid of these two, this will drop right back down to what it was, and that's not what we want. We want to keep going up and up and up till we hit some skyscrapers. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. This has been a bit long first episode, but I hope you stick with it through this series. It's been super fun. I want to thank you guys for joining me. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving me a like as well as a comment. It would be much appreciated. And if you're enjoying the videos on my channel, hit that subscribe button. It will really help me out to reach my next goal, and I'll catch you guys in the next Urbek City Builder episode. Take care now.